Hello, this is Neapolitan here, back at it with another YouTube video. Today's video is going to be my December monthly anime update. Just basically what I watched in December. Not including seasonals or anything like that, just new anime that I watched. Uh, I am a bit late again on this update, however, it's not as bad as November's yet. Uh, it could turn out to be because this is my third time actually recording this. First time I didn't enable my audio in the record in OBS, and then the second time th- my volume was just too low, so I've tried to increase my volume. And we'll see if it turns out better because I feel like I sound way too quiet in my videos. I don't want to fix that, but audio settings are hard. As always, timestamps are below. I do have timestamps in my other videos, but I can't have chapters yet. I guess I don't know anything about that. But timestamps below. Spoilers as always, so feel free to skip around. I will say that December had a pretty good chunk of anime, like of good anime, not not a lot of trash. So yeah, let's get into it. First up is Rakudai Majo Fuuka to Yami no Majo, which is the Klutzy Witch Fuuka and the Witch of Darkness. So this is the definition of mid. When people say Demon Slayer's mid or like JJK's mid, I don't think they've watched something like that. This is complete. This is the definition of mid, but it's understandable as it's like made for kids, but like you can make good kids movies that adults can enjoy and such. But anyways, so main girl Fuuka, she's pretty clumsy, not great with her magic. She's she's the daughter of one of the four kingdoms because there's like four kingdoms that make up this land, and she's like kind of struggling in school and whatnot. So she comes home one day and she's like kind of curious about her father or something because like her dad's not around. I mean, we don't really see him. I mean, like in the beginning, we see like this man and woman like seal this witch, and I'm assuming it's her parents. And then so there's like this sealed book or something in the study, and she goes in the study to like because she wants to find out more about her dad or something like that. And so she goes and finds this sealed book. This random person, random girl, comes out of nowhere. It's like nighttime as well, so it's like even more sus. Comes in and tells her that she should open it, even though her mother told her not to in the first place. So like I don't know what she's thinking, but like she opens it. The four main kids from each kingdom teleport into the into like this world where the witch is. And so they have to go through some trials. There's like this whole thing with like the witch trying to decept Fuuka into thinking that the other three kids hate her. And so blah blah blah. They get through them and they go to where the witch is, and boom, we find out the witch is the daughter of one of the main kids, Keith. So and she's like being tricked and possessed by the witch. So they fight back. They have this like whole like chase scene at the end. They free the daughter. It's very generic plot, just very generic everything. Just, like nothing special about it. Animation was good, I think. I mean, it is made by Production IG, so and like they they have like good quality. So I mean that I guess that was good. The chase scene was all right. Had some good animation too. Even with that, I feel like I'd just rather like if I had a kid watch like Kiki's Delivery Service with them or like a different Ghibli movie. I mean, I'm sure there's even other movies that could entertain them, but also be like a good watch or entertaining, you know? So it's very mid, very passable. I think we gotta start off D tier. I know I said we watched some good anime, but we're starting off with a stinker. But this is like the only one. All right. So next up is Coquelicot-zaka, probably butchering that, but it's From Up on the Poppy Hill in English. So this is solid Ghibli movie. All right, it's not nothing too deep, none of that. But I really ended up enjoying it. It's the second movie directed by Goro Miyazaki, who's the son. Although I haven't, to be fair, I have not seen Earwig and the Witch or the like show that he directed, but those are like both like 3D CGI. So I'm not quite interested in them, but I mean, I'll probably check them out eventually. But definitely his best movie, better than Ged Senki. Animation, as always, up to the Ghibli standard. Love the soundtrack and the music choices. I've actually gone out of my way to listen to the songs sometimes because they're solid. The main girl, Umi Matsuzaki, she's the daughter of a sailor. She hoists up 2 flags every day on top of the hill that she lives on to guide her dad home, but also like to honor him because he died in like the war, like on one of the boats or something, like blew up. But so there's this poem written about her in the school newspaper, and her sister actually wanted to go meet the editor or like something like that. So they go to the clubhouse, which is like super dirty, super old. It's actually being planned to be torn down by the principal and the school. So they go, they meet the editor of the newspaper. He's actually the main guy, main guy character in this, Shun Kazuma. And so he was actually the one that made the poem, and he's also the son of a sailor. And the main part of the movie is just like all the students getting together to save the clubhouse from being torn down. And like I love the cleaning and the repairing scenes. Like had so like just a lot of details to it. I could watch that like all day. It was just a lot of fun. And then like in the background you also have like Shun and Umi like flirting with each other. And he actually finds out that he has the same picture of like some sailors as she does, and he's trying to figure out if they're related because he thinks that they have like the same dad, so like they're half the siblings. So there's this whole thing. He says, "Oh, we gotta stop flirting and all that because we're related," but she's like, "Nah, screw that." And so there's this whole thing. They go to Tokyo to talk to the school chairman or whatever, chairman of like the school board or whatever, something like that, to get him to look at the club room, see if it's worth saving, like after they renovated it, because the principal is being a dweeb. So he's pretty cool. He actually listens to them, respects them, and like treats them as actual people, especially after having them wait so long. He even cancels like some stuff to make room in the schedule. So he goes. He ends up saving. He's like, yeah, yeah, let's cancel the teardown. And then principal's fuming at the end. And so after all that, like right after that, Shun gets a call from his adoptive dad, and he's like, so your so our sailor friend who was like good friends with Umi's dad, and then also we find out that it's Shun's dad. There's like the three of them are like tight knit, and the adopted dad calls, tells Shun, "Hey, come down here if you want to talk to uh your guy's dad, old friend, and like find out if you're actually related or not." And so they go down. There's like this whole cool. It's not really a chase scene because no one's getting chased, but like a running scene. Even though they're not running, they get catch a ride and then they're running and then they go onto a boat that goes to the other boat while still in the port. But anyways, they find out they're not related, so all's good, right? All's fair game. I'm probably missing a bit from my recap. Probably made that sound all complicated or dumb, but still, it was a fun watch. It's a pretty basic Ghibli movie, and it didn't like have like a big message like in the story or whatnot, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. I'd probably recommend it to other people, although because it is like a sweet romance slice of life thing, but it is also a little weird how it was like, oh, we're step siblings. Oh, but then we're not. That bit was just a little weird. Still good. I'll probably put it A tier for now. Might need to move it, but it's a solid spot for me. But I'm also a I want to say simp, but Ghibli simp, Ghibli enjoyer. So next up is Boys Beat. This is a weird comedy romance show. I mean, I feel weird calling it that, but it's mainly comedy and mainly romance. But I wouldn't really call it a rom com. Anyways, animation was alright. Art style was alright too for at least some of the characters. I did have slight not I don't know if it's issue, but so one of the girls, Chiharu Nita, she looks like Sid from Ice Age. And once I saw it, I could not unsee it. And I'm sure I'm gonna put a picture up so you can compare the two, but I, maybe it's because her eyes are so far apart sometimes, just like in some of the scenes. And once I saw it, I just couldn't unsee it. So I just always kept thinking that she looks like Sid from Ice Age. But anyways, the show is about three main guys all going through their own thing with like girls they meet or whatnot. The show is somewhat episodic as they usually stay in their own lane, but like most of like the main guy Kyoichi Kanazaki and Chiharu Nita's episodes, they have like this whole big drama going on, so that's kind of consistent throughout multiple episodes. But like the other two, they usually stay in their own lane because they don't have like anything crazy going on between their love interest. I didn't really like Makoto Kurumizawa, one of the guys, at the beginning, but in the end, he was probably my favorite guy. Maybe Yoshihiko, the other guy, but like just anyone other than Kyoichi Kanazaki. Like his tank stocks or his stocks tanked like crazy after like episode 8 or 9. Makoto, he gets together with Yumi Kazuma, who seems like a good fit since they banter well and are both a bit nerdy. He's very like statistical and he has like information on like the whole school, like even like all the girls. They don't really get together until like the super end, but it was cute seeing them together. Yoshiko, he gets together with Natsui Horikawa, who's a girl that wants to be a pitcher on the boys baseball team, and they're a nice fit. She's like a tomboy, athletic. He's athletic. It's pretty cute when like she's trying to like flirt with them and stuff, and he's just like super dense. And then he eventually figures stuff out at the end. Kyoichi in the end I don't think gets together with Chiharu. He's kind of like it's kind of left open, but he's like traveling, and I have no idea what she's up to, but I feel like it's kind of like they're waiting for each other. Like once things are good, once things are a little better. But I don't know. So, bit of a warning. I'm about to go into a rant as why I don't like both of them because they both suck. So, during summer vacation, he invited Chiharu to go to this resort beach because he's going to work part-time there with Makoto, and then he also just wants to spend time at the beach with her for a few days because it's, summer vacation. I want to spend time with the girl I like. Cool. She declines them, alright, because she has a training camp for her track team and stuff. So, no problem there, right? Uh, I'm sure he let him know how important it was to her before, but instead of letting him know again just how important it is, she gets like all angry at him and like, sure, you can be a little agitated or angry that he forgot or he doesn't realize how important it is to you, and like he is being a little pushy, but nothing crazy. But like just communicate with each other. And they aren't like together at this point, but they kind of are. Like they're pretty like flirty and stuff. So they have a fight about it, and they go their own separate ways. Like she goes to training camp, he goes to the beach, but like you just gotta communicate, right? So while she's on her training camp for track, she's like running on this path, and this guy kind of pulls up with this car, hitting on her, and so she denies him pretty quickly. But then he approaches her a second time when she's like sitting down at like outside the hotel or whatever, and she kind of takes up his offer. She takes up his offer to hang out, and so they hang out the whole day. They even go to like this secluded spot to look down at the like it's like the classic on top of the hill at night. You got the view of the sky, you got the view down below, and they talk for a while. So they basically hung out all day. And then the next day, we see her hanging out with him again. And they're like fishing at like this river or something. He kind of figures or she kind of figures out that he's kind of like a playboy, and he invites her out to party that night. She declines. And so her feeling guilty maybe or like lonely, she calls Kyoichi while he's at work, while he's working. And like doesn't like call him personally. She calls the workplace. And then it starts off with like a bad phone connection. So like he can't really hear her in the first place. But kind of figures out, oh, it's you, Chiharu. My crush, right? So he's busy with customers. You hear Makoto calling in the background or him. There's not a good phone connection. He can't really hear her, and like he's working. She gets all mad about like at him. I'm just like, why? He's working. Can you just call him later? Can you like, and then like they already have like a bad phone connection, so it's like, what do you want? So she calls after that. She hangs up, calls the guy, see if they can like hang out, and so they hang out all night at the view, talking, whatnot. That's already sus. Why are you hanging out all night at that like romantic view? So Kyoichi and Makoto the next morning after like they're all done with work, they have like their own like episode at like the beach with like someone, and so they go to the train station and go to visit Chiharu to surprise her. When and so he has to go to like the bathroom, Makoto. So it's just Kyoichi. He's at the entrance. He sees this car roll up, and Chiharu get out of it. And then he sees Chiharu kissing the guy. And so he's all heartbroken. He's like all shocked. And what do we see? We see Chiharu upset at Kyoichi for seeing her kiss that guy, I guess. I don't know. So, anyways, that's why I don't like her. Now on to Kyoichi. I didn't have a problem with them at this point. After like this next episode, I do. So I'll explain why I don't like him. So he's all sad after that, right? Which is understandable. You know, see your crush, childhood friend crush, kissing another guy when you guys thought you were gonna be flirty and like all that. Anyways, he encounters Shoko Sayama, who is best girl by the way. They start talking. She's a student with a temper who wants to get into like the music industry, and she's gonna try out for like this J-pop band that has like an opening at the as for the main singer. So they kind of get flirty together and like together for like an episode, and Chiharu sees it and she has a problem with it. Like, okay, girl, sure. Shoko even like gets him a bracelet as like a gift, and so like he basically he's moving on, right? He she, Shoko kind of realizes that Kyoichi is not over Chiharu and says that she's not a substitute for him. He's like he does the classic hug from behind. Is like, no, you were not. So then she's like, okay. She invites him out that night. It's like, have a date night. Cool, right? He doesn't decline, but he doesn't show up, like at all. Doesn't say anything. Isn't like, oh, cool, I'm actually busy tonight, or like even calls her to like let her know. Like she's just standing there at the fountain at their meeting spot waiting, and she's even stands there in the rain for a little while, all ready for this date night, and she eventually leaves after waiting like a bit longer. He's just in his room, walking around, roaming around, just thinking, and he even sees like this painting that Chiharu like verbally assisted him with or like commented on, and that like reminds him of her or something. Anyways, now he decides, oh, I'm gonna go run to this meet spot, even though I'm like an hour or two late. And I didn't let her know or anything. I just said, sure, let's go. Yeah, we can go, and then just not show up. I not even communicate with her. So he's running. He loses the bracelet, by the way. It just slips off during the run. It's like, does this man just not care? And he gets there, finds that she's gone. Eventually, he finds her at like this swamp spot where they like talked and cuddled the other night. And so they talk, break it off basically. And she doesn't show up to school the next day because she like transferred away or something because of like the audition. And so, like for the J-pop band, and she was pretty nervous about it. So, but getting heartbroken, I guess, was enough to push her. So, I guess it was necessary for her, little arc. But man, Kyoichi is a walking hell. Just treating her like this, I cannot forgive him. So he sucks, and I guess he still wants Chiharu in the end. He's not over her even after all that. So I feel for Shoko. She is my favorite girl of this series. There was even like this post-credit scene that I'm assuming was of the audition, but no matter where I watched it, it gets cut off at like the same time, and we don't get to see like anything besides like some people lined up like in some seats. But probably went on talking about this anime too much, honestly. I don't know if it deserves it, but I had to get the rant out there. I actually really didn't want to watch this in the beginning. Like after a couple episodes, I was like, what is this? But it kind of grew on me. Kind of got better. Would I recommend this? No. There are much better anime out there. However, there's a stipulation. If you're tired of seasonals, one, and you want something old and classic looking, and two, you don't have a backlog of things that you want to watch. Like I have a lot of things I want to watch. This probably wouldn't have been one of them, but I kind of enjoyed it. It was fun, but not great. And then also op- opening was okay from what I remember. And then like there was like just a bunch of endings. It never really stuck with me. I will also say the eye catchers, like in the middle, where like it's like get the eye catcher and then commercial break and then the eye catcher and then you return to the show. The eye catchers were pretty weird as well. It was like in real life girls, like IRL girls, and it was just like close ups on them. And I don't know, it was a little weird, but I guess it was unique. Cool. I'll go C tier. Yeah, I'll go C tier. It'd probably be high C tier, maybe. Maybe it'd just be mid C. But it was a fun watch. I don't entirely regret it, but Kyoichi, man, such an L. Alright, so next up is Majo no Tabitabi, Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. Solid anime. I liked the art style. Animation was solid. I didn't particularly fall in love with Elaina or the other main like reoccurring characters. I still enjoyed them though. I do like the fact that Elena's not exactly a goody two shoes or very basic. She thinks highly of herself and she's quite confident in her skills. I feel like she's a bit narcissistic too. So she's a bit unique, and but she does help out. She does have her own like sense of justice. I quite liked her teacher, voiced by the legendary Kana Hanazawa. She was fun in the first bit. Reappeared a bit later in the show as well. Saya was alright. She was fun. She is quite clingy and crazy about Elaina, and I'm not sure how she puts up with puts up with that. But the story is basically about Elaina and her adventures, mostly episodic episodes. A chunk of them have a pretty subtle slash not so subtle dark tone, and I did hear about how it was misleading. And like episode started like when she hit episode 4 is like boom darkness, right? Because I thought this was just like a slice of life adventure, and so episode 4 was pretty dark. Episode 3 had some subtle, not so subtle dark tones, and then episode 9 was pretty dark. Was not expecting that servant girl to go through having to be used by the village chief, and then the son who likes her being oblivious to it and hurting her even more with like all the happy memories he gathered to as a present for her, and just making her even more sad. And I hear we find out what happens after Elaina leaves, like in the light novel. So I kind of do want to read that just for like the details of this and on like a couple of the episodes that I'm going to talk about later. But episode 4 was like where everyone was like, oh yeah, this is where like, you know, you get to see the first real dark episode. So like there's Lena comes across this princess who doesn't remember anything, needing to fight this like dragon monster, destroying her kingdom. And when she starts fighting it or defeating it, and so like we find out that she gave herself amnesia and like in the end. So like she has amnesia, doesn't know why she needs to fight it. She just knows that there's a letter for her telling her to fight it. So she starts fighting it, and then she starts remembering she's actually the one that made her father into that monster because her father killed the unborn baby and the baker she fell in love with. Yeah, that's tough. And then like after all that, we see in the end she kind of goes crazy, and she's like making breakfast for like her and then the baker and the baby, even though they're already dead. And Elena's just like, cool, all right, and they just kind of dips. Uh, my favorite my favorite episodes were probably the one where Elaina visited the magic school, and like this class of students try to capture her, and then she finds out that Fran is the one who did it as a test for them, and also to find her because she heard she was in the city. That was quite nice seeing them reunite. And then I did really like the animation, like for the chase scene. And then my other favorite episode was episode 9, which is like pretty dark. It's where this witch Estella wants to go back in time to stop her childhood friend from for becoming a murderer because her parents died during a robbery. So Elaina and Estella Elaina goes with Estella to help, and I was a little sus of her in the beginning because she was like, "Oh yeah, we need to wear these rings to share magic, because it takes like a lot of magic to go back in time." And then she's like gonna need to like share magic with take some of Elena's magic so she can actually use magic while back in time. And so I thought she was a little sus. Turns out she's not. She's not really. Uh, so then we go. They thought out this plan. They have like an hour, and so they evacuate the parents from the house to avoid the robber killing them. Then we cut away to Elaina. We hear the scream. Turns out the childhood friend murdered the parents back then, and we see the childhood friend stab Estella. Turns out she was always crazy because of how her parents treated her, and like I'm pretty sure they used her. And so it was quite heartbreaking to see that, and then also just see Estella get betrayed. I do think Estella might be my favorite side character, if not overall. So anyways, Estella fights back and just like game ends her childhood friend after like letting all her rage out. It's like pretty brutal. She like goes on this rant. But then she erases the memories of her, like her own memories of the childhood friend. And so once they get back, Elena's quite shocked and kind of leaves after checking if Estella's okay, and then goes to process what happened. And then Estella is wondering who this girl is, because she has a picture of them still together, like a picture of the childhood friend and Estella together. So she's like wondering, who is this? Because there's like this gap in her memory. So I do want to read the light novel, just like for that part. I do want to read the light novel at some point, because it does have more details, which is to be expected. And I do want to find out more of what happened with Estella. Overall, good watch. I'd recommend it to certain people who like a fantasy adventure with a dab of heaviness and some lighthearted episodes. I am surprised that it is not half a season 2 yet. I'm curious if they will, because I was kind of intrigued with the character that it ended off on. Like Elaina bumps into like this character at the end, and I was pretty intrigued by that. I think I'll leave it in B tier. I don't know if it's quite up to A, and it's definitely not bad enough to be C. Alright, so next up is Karakai Jouzu no Takagi-san 2, which is Teasing Master Takagi-san Season 2. So cute. Love the second season, just like the first. I don't have much to say about it, so I'll try to keep it short. The show is basically about the main girl, Takagi, teasing Nishikata, and Nishikata trying to tease her to get back at her. Very cute. It's mainly just like 3 short episodes combined together. I enjoy the banter together. Nishikata is always like trying to come up with something and like thinking he's so smart, and just failing or backfiring. And it's always adorable when he gets like his rare dub, making Takagi like blush or like making her flustered. You also get to see like this trio of friends who are also like friends with Takagi, Mina, Sanai, and Yukari. Not too much to say about them. Sometimes they have like a little funny, like short in the episode. Uh, Although Mina is quite adorable, she has like a pretty goofy personality, and I do think her like design, mainly like her hair, complements that. I also like seeing Mano and Nakai. I do wish we got to see like a bit more of them in season 2, but we didn't really see them much compared to like season 1. Just overall, very wholesome, quite funny. Fireworks episode was pretty good. Like the last episode, there's like this whole bet, like to see if anyone would call them a couple or if they looked like they were on a date. And of course, they run into like all the people they know, and they get separated like as like the fireworks get started, and so they have to like. There's like this whole scene of them like reuniting, and like Nishikata trying to find where Takagi-san is. And I totally forgot about the guy, Kimura, who was one of Nishikata's friends. Him being a wingman, just like a great wingman to him, and just making sure to like drag the other friend Takao out of the way to like give Nishikata space. And he's always just like aware of like when they're together, so they he can give him space, and like, you know, Nishikata can do his thing. And he was even the one that helped Nishikata find where Takagi went, because he saw where she went, like up the temple stairs. Very fun, very cute. I am curious to what season 2 or season 3 and the movie go. Like if it develops like their relationship more. Because I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know if season 3 and slash the movie adapt like all of the manga or whatnot. I'll probably put it in B tier ahead of Elaina. I think that's about right. Alright, so next up is Hibike Euphonium Kakedasu Monaka, which is Sound Euphonium Ready Set Monaka. This is the short OVA. Takes place during the last few episodes of the first season. It revolves around the 10 members who didn't make the cut for the competition. It's cute, fleshes out the characters a little more, which is nice, especially since my favorite girl, Natsuki, is present through a lot of it. It shows them basically practicing, making good luck charms for the other members. Hazuki makes a special one for Shuichi. Not too much happened. It's a nice addition. I do appreciate it, but I don't think it would have fit well in the show. So I think it's fine here. And, you know, it just gives us a little more time with not the main characters of the regular show, which is nice because there's like, it's like what, 70 members, because you get like the 60 competition members and then you got the 10 that didn't make the cut, something like that. So that's a lot of characters, so give a little more time for not the main characters, which is nice. So we'll go B tier. Next up is Hibike Euphonium Season 2, or Euphonium 2, which is Sound Euphonium Season 2. Solid sequel. I may have enjoyed the first season a bit more, just from what I remember, because I think there was a bit more like playing slash performances in there. Although they did have like a solid music performance in episode 5, but all I remember is like the performance missing from episode 12 or 13, like at the competition. And I do understand that it is the same piece as what they did in season 1, but I still would have liked to see it. I'd like seeing the performances, even if it's the same. You can make it a bit better. Like, I'm sure me as an amateur wouldn't have noticed like the big differences, but I still would have liked to have heard it. Season 2 seemed to have like a bit more drama involved compared to like season 1, which isn't a bad thing, but I just really enjoy the music and the performances in My Music Anime. So my favorite drama slash arc, like a little bit, was the one involving Mizori Yoro Izuka, the Obe player, who was friends with Nozomi Kasaki, who plays the flute. And she's one of the first years that quit the year before Hibike joined. Because there was like this whole incident. And so Mizore can't play, or she basically like shuts down when she sees Nozomi because she feels betrayed by Nozomi. Because Nozomi didn't tell her about quitting when she told like all the other first years. But Nozomi didn't tell Mizore because when Nozomi saw her play, she looked like she was really enjoying herself and having fun. And she's pretty quiet. She seemed like a little bit sad, like because they went to middle school together, and so she didn't tell her, and it's basically like this whole misunderstanding, and then she didn't want to drag her into it, so it gets resolved. They're all good now. I do quite look forward to the movie Liz to Aoitori that revolves around them. I was actually gonna watch it before watching Hibike because I didn't know I didn't know they were like connected, but I do quite look forward to that movie now. And then so there was also another like big drama about Asuka not showing up to club because her mom wants to be petty and make her do things that she wants, not what her daughter wants. Even though Asuka gets good grades, she studies all that, she wants to be petty because I guess her ex-husband, we find out her ex-husband is a famous Euphonium player, and so the mom thinks that Asuka just wants to play it in spite of her, but no, she just enjoys playing it. But in the end, she does get to play in the competition. It's her final year, so I am glad that Taki-sensei stands up for his students. And we get this whole weird scene of like the mother slapping Asuka in front of all the teachers. And I'm just like, why? Why are you going this far? Anyways, there's like also this other drama at Hibike's home where her sister wants to like drop out of college and do her own thing. And like Hibiki's upset that her sister is telling her to quit and like or telling her not to quit and like study when her sister's not really following her own advice. Something like that. But they have like a sweet scene after Hibiki's competition performance, which the sister did not want to go to, but Shuichi convinced her to. And so it was a really sweet scene, wholesome. I liked it. I do think the season's a bit better, even if my girl Natsuki isn't as prevalent compared to season 1. I may have enjoyed season 1 a little more, as there is a bit more performing than season 2, but that's just me. Sadly, they only did get the bronze, but we did get the funny moment of Reina, like, quote, confessing, unquote, to Taki. She was like the only one who said anything when he got his award. Like, all the other schools had, like, all the students planning to say something, but then, like, of course, these guys, they didn't know, and then only Reina said, like, I love you, Taki Sensei, or something like that. So she was quite embarrassed. It was cute. I'm quite interested in how everything like goes down with all like new first years coming in, because like Hibike and the gang are like season 2 or second years now, and the third years are like retiring. So I do look forward to the movie and season 3. I do think I prefer the opening and ending of season 2 more than season 1. Looking back now, it's a good watch. I'd say it's a must if you are an anime and music fan, or just an anime and like a slice of life / cute girls doing cute things fan. I think we'll put it in A tier, below From Up on the Poppy Hill because of my Ghibli bias, but it's really good. It's really good. So next up is Hibike Euphonium 2 specials. Silly little shorts about various characters and situations. I don't really remember much about them. They're really forgettable. They're kind of cute in the moment, like when I watched them, but very forgettable. Like I the only thing I can remember is Sapphire being obsessed with boobs, like in the last couple of them, because I thought it was like she's going a little too far. So they're there, I guess. I I don't know. C tier, below Boys B. I'm sorry. Maybe you enjoy them. I think they have like a chibi art style to them. Next up is Golden Kamuy OVA. This is an OVA that takes place during the end of season 1, during the Battle of Barato. Two gangs in the city, and Hijikata helps one, Ogata helps the other, all to get information on the tattoos, on some tattoos. So like, there's this whole battle that goes down, and they battle for a while, and ends up being like a whole bloodbath. And in the end, a lot of the like each gang dies, and like I think the heads of the gang of Hijikata's gang, like the one that he's helping, like the heads of them like die, and we see Ogata and Hijikata, how Ogata and Hijikata team up in the end. So I love seeing Hijikata take command and like showing why he is the demon vice commander of the Shinsengumi. And then seeing Ogata join the rat face looking guy is just kind of funny to me, considering how Ogata just rats away sniping at people. Like he was like in a water tower, just like ratting away, sniping at people. And so this episode, I think, started making me enjoy Ogata as an antagonist. Definitely more so in season 2, but guys, I don't really care about him too much in season 1. And then there was the funny scene where one of the old guys that's on Team Hijikata, he was like in disguise as the pregnant lady. Then we see him get shot, and then like we see him like doing all this action. It was pretty cool. So I think we'll stick with B tier. I'll probably put it ahead of Team Monaka. Yeah, I think that's about right. And then so next up is Golden Kamuy season 2, second season. Solid sequel that makes me enjoy this story and this world more. Animation is pretty consistent to what we got in season 1. Comedy is on point, and we definitely get more action in this one. So it was a lot of fun. The start is pretty weird because it starts off with this weirdo taxidermist, Yasaku Edogai, who Lieutenant Tsumi approaches because he wants some fake tattoo skins to deceive like Sugimoto and like Hijikata. So he also like works on humans with his like taxidermist stuff, and it's just way too weird. He has like his mom and just other random people stuffed in his house, and that's terrible. And he even like falls in love with Lieutenant Tsumi after like Tsumi acts like a father figure to him to get him to do what he wants. So I'm glad he dies relatively soon. Although he does end up making 6 fake skins. I like the team up of Sugimoto and Hijikata's gang because like Sugimoto kind of finds them early on, like pretty early in season 2, and so they team up because they're like, it's nothing really stopping them from. But they kind of know like later on that it's gonna like their little alliance is gonna break, and so there's like this whole cool chase scene of in the minecarts with Sugimoto Shidaishi and then Ogata chasing Edogai and Tsukishima, where Edogai ends up dead and after an explosion down there, and then Tsukimisha takes the skins back to Lieutenant Tsunri. What really caught my attention was the fact that he only gave 5 to him and took one of the skins for himself. So I'm curious if that gets followed up on or we find out more about that. That was like one whole little arc. Then we get to, like, this other little arc where Shiraishi gets captured. They go to rescue him because, like, they need his escapist skills. And so we get this cool scene of, like, them stealing a prototype blimp, and then they, like, crash it, and they're, like, running into the mountains. There's this really cool part where it's like stormy up there, and to, like, just survive, they have to, like, do some Empire Strikes Back type of stuff, shoot some deer and, like, open them up and then hide inside them to stay, like, warm and, like, just stay alive. So that was pretty cool. And then we get to see, like, Sugimoto and Asiriba share one, and he kind of opens up about himself to her, about his background, and, like, how he liked dried persimmons. And, like, she was like, "Oh, I'll go with you to go try some. We'll see if you can go back to who you were before the war." So that was cute. And then, so as a secondary thing, we kind of see Inkamart. She goes to the Ainu village to saying that someone's going to betray Ashijiba and that her grandmother's going to be dying soon. So Tanigaki and this kid, Chikapasi, who's kind of a brat, not gonna lie, and I don't know why he's following on this journey, but it is what it is. So they go to go find Asiriba and tell her. They eventually meet up with her, and, like, there's this whole funny scene where Tanigaki gets otter meat. It's either otter or seal. I don't know. And so there's, like, this swarm of locusts in the area. So there's, like, 5 guys in this cabin, and then Asiriba and Inkamart are, like, on a boat talking to each other. So I'll start with the 5 guys. So I think it's Sugimoto, Shiraishi, Ogata, Kiroranke, and Tanigaki. They're in this cabin sort of thing, and there's locusts around, so they have to stay inside, and they're making sea or otter stew or seal stew, one of the two. And they all just start stripping and getting into, like, a bit of a mood because of the aphrodisiac that the meat releases. And so we just get, like, a minute and a half to, like, 2 minutes of, like, of the 5 of them just stripping and, like, being very fan servicey. And I don't know, it was very funny. And so meanwhile, while that's happening, we get to see Inkamart and Asiriba talk about her dad, and we find out Inkamart knew Asiriba's dad and, like, hung out with him a lot and traveled with him, like, when she was younger. And so they come back, and after all the guys leave the cabin, Tanagaki's there, stripped down, alone, and Inkamart basically hooks up with him, saying, "Blame it on the sea otter meat." That's, like, a whole thing. Another cool thing I really thought was, like, a lot of fun was, so all the guys, or everyone was, like, at this hot springs resort or something. They were, like, bathing in the hot springs, relaxing a bit. And this blind bandit gang just comes and attacks them while they're in the hot springs. So the guys have to counterattack at night, buck naked, with no weapons. Like, only Ogata was smart enough to, like, bring his weapon into the hot spring. So it was quite entertaining. Although I cannot imagine having to fight back, like, fight for my life in the dark, buck naked, with nothing. And so that was a lot of fun. And then we get to the finale, where the whole squad, like Sugimoto's group, Hijikata's group, and then, like, Tanagaki's group also, like, join Sugimoto, where they're gonna go to the prison where Napoberto is, and to help him escape / find out information about him and the gold, and then also to see if he's Asiriba's dad. And so, of course, Hijikata comes up with, like, this plan and then betrays them, like, almost as soon as it starts. And then Inkamart calls in Lieutenant Tsumi, who she was sort of helping, because she kind of got information from him, and then also like it's to help bring chaos so like Sugimoto can be okay. And so I really love the action here. I loved what they did with the lighting because, of course, the prison break is going to be at night, so it's going to be dark. And to add some light to like the outside, like some dynamic lighting, they sent up flares like with the warships that Lieutenant Sumi brought. It's like there's like this really cool, nice lighting from the flares. Hijikata's fight with the warden was good, and it was also fun seeing like the prison break on Lieutenant Sumi and his men. Sugimoto gets into a fight with Nikaido, who wants revenge on Sugimoto because of his like twin brother or whatever. I'm very happy to see his butt get beat, even with his little trick of having a shotgun blast in his prosthetic leg. And we get to see Sugimoto just rip off his leg and start beating Nikaido in the face with it. Although I think Nikaido is still alive because we didn't really see a confirmed death. We see like some of the men rush up to Nikaido, chasing off Sugimoto. And so eventually Sugimoto finds Napobredo. He's like trying to escape while Hijikata is busy with the warden. And so they have a conversation. He finds out he is Asiripa's father. And we see like this cool, heartwarming scene of like Asiripa with binoculars, and then Sugimoto hands Napobredo binoculars, and they realize like, oh, that's my daughter. Oh, that's my father. And then like he kind of opens up to Sugimoto a little more, and he says he didn't kill all those Ainu. Before he gets to say where the gold is, he gets shot in the face. So here comes the betrayal of Ogata, who teamed up with Kidoranke. And then so Asiripa's dad is dead, and then Sugimoto gets shot. Asiripa's like gets to see that in 4K with her binoculars. And so she's like crying, and then everyone's like, we gotta go, we gotta get out of here. And so they start going down off the roof and then running to get away. And unfortunately, we see Kidoranke stab Inkamart, who has been warning about his betrayal this whole time, although she was being a little sus herself as well. And so while Shiraishi and Asiripa are out getting a boat, he stabs her and leaves her behind, and he runs off with Ogata. And so after the whole aftermath, it's like Asiripa, Shiraishi, Ogata, and Kidoranke just like traveling and like running away, not knowing about the whole betrayal. And then we see Sugimoto, Tanigaki, and Inkamart in Lieutenant Sumi's care with Lenaga also there. And so Sugimoto and Sumi team up in the end to go get Asiripa back. It's a very fun watch. And then we get like this cool scene of like Sugimoto on a boat, like saying, I will come find you, Asiripa. And so I really want to watch season 3 quickly and catch up. I will say season 2 did feel a bit rushed at points, like as an anime only. I still enjoy it though. I still thought it was good. I do think I will go back and watch or read the manga like after finishing the anime and like the final season when that airs, to see if like I missed anything. I still think it was well done despite feeling a bit rushed. This season definitely solidifies me into recommending it to other people, as it's like too good to pass up. I do want to say I liked season 1's opening more than season 2 at the beginning, but I think season 2's opening really grew on me. Oh, and then I also just forgot, there's like this funny scene during the bandit attack. There was Tanigaki, Kidoranke, and Inkamart. So the two guys were buck naked. They all get on a boat to go escape the bandits. And then the boat gets flipped over because they kind of shot at him, like the bandits shot at him. And so she's like, she can't swim, so she's like drowning. And she's made up her mind that her fortune telling is 100% true. And we see she's like, oh, this is my time to pass away. And we see like some CGI bears surrounding her that's supposed to represent the Kamuy, the gods. helping her to the afterlife. But then we just see this image of Tanagaki crashing in, crashing in on the what is it? What would it be called? It's not a memory. On the vision. Yeah, sure. Let's go with vision. We just see this image of Tanagaki crashing in on the vision, and then we see him pulling Inkomart out of the water. And I just thought that was hilarious. So I love their little thing that's going on, and I hope she survives. But yeah, that's Golden Kamuy season 2. Definitely S tier. No doubt in my mind, it's S tier. A lot of fun. I really want to get into the third season already. So next up is Tokyo Godfathers. Very good movie. Glad I watched this during the Christmas season. Rest in peace, Satoshi Kon. I went into this with no expectations besides like watching the trailer and like I guess finding out what it's about from the trailer. Like just a few days before I watched the movie. Basically, the movie is about these 3 homeless people, Jin, Hana, and Miyuki, finding a baby in the dumpster and going on an adventure to return it to its parents. I don't want to talk about this movie too much, as I'm sure there's much better like in-depth reviews as well. I went rambling on about other shows too much. I really enjoyed their dynamics between the 3 of them, and like just them talking to each other. Like it was entertaining just watching them talk to each other. I didn't realize it was only like 30-40 minutes that passed. It felt like an hour had passed. I just thought that was crazy. I don't know. It's a lot of fun though. They each go through like their own little self journey through this whole adventure. And you know they have to kind of like face their past as well, because Jin sees his grown-up daughter that he kind of bailed out on. Hana goes back to the drag queen club she worked at before becoming homeless. And Miyuki, we see her talking to the hitman's wife and like reflecting on what happens at her home, and throughout the movie we eventually see her father at the end. But we don't see what happens, unfortunately. It was really cool seeing her Miyuki talk to the hitman's wife and them connect with each other even though they don't speak the same language, because she speaks Japanese and then the hitman's wife was speaking Spanish, I believe. At least in the movie where I watched it, it didn't have subs for it. So then it's kind of like we're there with her and we have to like understand what she's saying through context and with her like body actions. That was a lot of fun. It was nice seeing them find like their old / lost loved ones, even though we don't really see what happened, what goes down in Miyuki's case. Just want to say I loved the chase scene at the end where the gang has to like try to find or trying to get back the baby who they thought was the real mother, but was just a stranger who snatched this baby because she had a miscarriage. So that was a lot of fun. Animation was phenomenal during it, although it was also good throughout the whole movie. And you can truly see how much love and detail went into it. And I love the ending too, with Hana like jumping down the roof of the building to like save / catch the baby. You get this whole miracle of like Hana and the baby coming down slowly on a banner that she grabbed onto, because she was like falling. She grabbed onto the banner and then like they slowly fall, like it's like an angelic miracle, which is like perfect for Christmas. Absolute perfection. This might be my second favorite movie of Satoshi Kon's. I think I prefer Perfect Blue a little more overall, but I do think I'd watch / enjoy Tokyo Godfather more on repeat because of how heavy Perfect Blue is. And I do think I prefer this over Millennium Actress, even though I love Millennium Actress. It is a fun comedic adventure with a good amount of drama and wholesome vibes. Perfect kind of Christmas movie. Maybe I'll have to make it a annual tradition. Watch it during Christmas. But easy S tier. I think it's behind Golden Kamuy for me. Maybe. I mean, it is a good movie, but I do love Golden Kamuy a lot. Next up is High School DxD OVA. This is like a couple episode OVA that takes place either during season 1 or like after. There are episodes, I don't think they really fit the flow of the first season, so it's fine they're released like this. First episode is this demon that attacks big-breasted girls, sucking out their energy slash like life force to feed itself, and then the girls returning and not knowing what happened, feeling sick and having their breast size reduced. So big issues. Of course, the gang sets out to go investigate and stop it, and then the girls all get caught. Of course, gotta have that fan service. They get caught by like these tentacle vines from the demon tree, so lots of tentacle fan service. And so now they're feeding on the girls, and like this demon like produces like some sort of fruit or something like that would make everyone's chest big, like every girl's chest big. And so Issei is conflicted as to help the demon or to save his friends. Such an L from this man. Low key. Like, especially when you already got like Rias with you, like you're living together, sleeping together. You don't need every girl in the world to have big one. You already got a pair that already like you. So I don't know. Such an L. Rias eventually makes a deal with him. They defeat the demon, and then at the end, he kind of gets shafted with the deal. She's like, and well deserved. Second episode, it was alright. The gang goes to investigate a coffin, and they need like a beautiful demon or something, beautiful demon girl to open it or something. So Rias opens it, and this curse possesses Issei, who is now making demands to unseal him so that the curse can be free. And so they go through with it. Nothing too special happens, like with the request. Just a little bit of fan service. Everyone was like getting a little sus about the curse, and we get to see this really fire dancing of Rias, and she's like in this costume or whatever. That was some fine dancing and some fine animation there. So he gets released and he turns on the gang, so they fight back, beat the curse, either reseal him or like destroy him or whatever. Nothing too special in these episodes besides like the Rias dancing. That was worth it alone. But I'm glad I got to see the amazing ending song like a couple more times as well. So I think we'll leave it in B tier. I'd probably put it ahead of these other two OVA if we're talking if it's just the dancing. But if we're taking everything, I'll probably put it at the end of B tier. So yeah, those are my rankings. I also did rewatch Bocchi the Rock this December, and that was a lot of fun. I didn't add it because I don't really have anything to add to it, and plus it was a rewatch. And then it would have also just been automatic S tier number 1. That's no fun. So yeah, very solid anime. You know, I'm happy I watched most of these. You know, I could have probably skipped out on the Hibike Euphonium specials, and then the klutzy witch Fuuka or whatever. But yeah, I think that's it for my rankings. And now we're gonna go to my drawings. All right. So first drawing I did 2 this month is of Sugimoto and Asiripa from Golden Kamuy. I did say I wanted to do Golden Kamuy and Hibike Euphonium like last month, but there was like also another 2 like good options from there, so I didn't end up doing them. So I decided, hey, let's do them for December since I watched season 2 for both of them. I absolutely love how Sugimoto turned out, and pretty much everything besides maybe like rim of the hat. And something I did this time, compared to like the other months, is re-outlining the outline, like going over the outline, just like with like a harder grip, with like making it darker, so it just really pops out more. And so I think it just makes it look a million times better. And so maybe that's why I like the Sugimoto so much compared to like my other drawings. But I mean, I still do love my girl Shido that I did last month. But I just love his face. I feel like the details are great. Only complaint would be maybe like the scar on his like chin. But I absolutely love the expression, the face he's making. Hair could maybe be a little better. I didn't do anything other than the face, so like no neck, shoulders, or anything like that. But I love how he turned out. And then Asiripa, on the other hand, I feel like I could have like made her face a little more wide. And then I'm not quite a fan of her like expression, how that turned out. But I still think it's all right. Hair could have been a little better. And then I don't like how her cap turned out. I sucked at doing that design. That was also a pain, because I couldn't just like mirror it in the software. I had to like try to draw the same thing on each side in opposites, but it's whatever. I still love this drawing. That was a lot of fun. I'm really glad of that one. And then the second one I did is of Hibike from Hibike Euphonium. I am also quite proud of her. I did the same thing, making the outlines darker, and so I think it really helps with her hair, especially. I just I love how her hair turned out, and I really suck with hair. I mean, I suck with everything, but I'd say like hands and hair would be like the two things I would suck at the most. I mean, I'd also include feet in that, but I usually don't. I haven't even attempted to draw like any kind of feet before. I'm really happy with her hair. Love the details there. Her face, I feel like, is a little sharp, so I feel like I could have made it a little more round, and probably a little more, maybe a little more wide. I'm not sure about wide. Yeah, I definitely feel like her chin, and like you could cut some vegetables with that. I like her neck, and like the chest. Yeah, like the neck chest details, neck to chest details, and then like the top part of her school uniform, I thought turned out nice. It actually looks like a Japanese school uniform. Didn't go like do the upper body, so it's basically just like a portrait. Uh, I had a lot of trouble with the eyes until I learned, like, I just looked up like a quick tutorial on how to do like anime eyes. I had a lot of trouble with the eyes, so I had to like draw it, erase, redraw it, erase, until I decided, F it, I'm gonna look up a little tutorial on how to do eyes. I just did that, and oh my god, infinitely better. And then the little spots, it kind of looks like she's crying. I tried to do like the little glimmers in the eye, and then those are supposed to be like the little glimmers on the like the slightly blushed cheeks. Kind of looks like she's crying, but it still looks alright. I think I probably erased the blush a little too much, so I don't know how well that turned out. But love the hair, love the top of the clothing. Face a bit sharp, but like I said, overall I think it turned out well. So yeah, those are all the drawings for December, and yeah, hopefully this will be out in the next couple days, and then hopefully after I get this out, I'll work on fall 2024s. I still haven't done the drawing for that, unfortunately. I just need to sit down and commit to it. I picked out Dun 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 for as one of them, and I do not look forward to drawing that. I feel like that's just complicated. but we'll see. I'm gonna try. So be on the lookout for that. That should be out before February, hopefully, so then I can start working on January's update. beginning of February. And yeah, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, be on the lookout for my seasonal update. I know it is quite late, but I do like finishing my anime for if I were to do seasonal updates, which I am doing. And yeah, hopefully I can get onto a better schedule. Hopefully. So yeah, this is Neapolitan signing out. Bye bye.